In this third and final part of the Iowa to Florida series, you can see how the actual flight compared against the planning you saw in parts 1 and 2. This flight is the first day of our spring break trip from Cedar Rapids, Iowa to Fort Myers-Page Field in Florida, with a fuel stop at Moton Field in Tuskegee, Alabama. From the weather briefing I got in the morning, which you may have seen in part 2, I expect a mostly uneventful ride with just 2 exceptions. An area of rain and potentially storms roughly at the Tennessee-Alabama border, and another area of rain over the Gulf that might move into southern Florida by the time of our arrival. Here I am in the car, shortly after the weather briefing from part 2 ended. We see mostly sunny skies and good visibility over Cedar Rapids with just a few high clouds. At the airport, we load up the airplane with our luggage and some water for the flight, and fuel of course, and around 9 a.m. we are ready to depart behind a United Airbus on its way to Denver.
United 313, Cedar Rapids Tower, turn right direct Wolbach, runway 9 cleared for takeoff.
Turn direct Wolbach, cleared for takeoff, runway 9 United 313.
And 70 Tango Bravo, Cedar Rapids Tower, caution wake turbulence, part regional jet, turn right heading 110, runway 9 cleared for takeoff.
Right heading 110, clear for takeoff, runway 9, Bonanza 70 Tango Bravo. Airspeed alive.
Bonanza 0 Tango Bravo, contact departure.
Contact departure, Bonanza 0 Tango Bravo. Have a good day.
I had filed 7,000 feet in my flight plan. Shortly before reaching that altitude, I realized that 9,000 feet, though below freezing temperature, is not going to be a problem because there are no clouds at that altitude. So icing won't be a problem, and I request and get approved for 9,000 feet where the tailwind is slightly better. Life is good. Southeast of St. Louis, some light bumps start. There are cumulus clouds below us, and it's getting hazier up high, though for now the weather is still VFR. It has warmed up to plus 2 degrees Celsius here at 9,000. Looking ahead, ADS-B radar shows the expected precipitation just south of Tennessee. There's not much I can do about it at this time, other than keep an eye on it and see if a slight deviation to the right or left later in the flight might help. The bumps stop near Marion, Illinois. By now we're over a solid undercast with a bit less of a tailwind than at first. Near Kentucky Dam, it gets really hazy. We're getting closer to an almost stationary front that's hovering over the Kentucky-Tennessee border all day. At this time, I start looking more closely at the precip ahead at the Tennessee-Alabama border. There's not much differentiation I can see on the ADS-B weather radar that would suggest that a deviation east or west would make things better. The FIS-B uplink, you can see it depicted here on the Lynx ADS-B transponder, shows a convective sigmoid around the western half of this area of rain. Convective sigmoids indicate areas where storms are located and where strong turbulence should be expected. The sigmoid I see here suggests that if I do decide to deviate, it should be to the east, away from this convective sigmoid. It also helps to review the METARs of airports in the area. If there's no rain, only drizzle or light rain reported, the ride through the precip is often going to be good. On the other hand, heavy rain or reports of thunderstorm or lightning would be reason for concern. So while flying over Graham, I'm going to take a look at these METARs here. It looks like the precip is heavier towards the west and lighter towards the east. I decide to ask for a reroute to take me towards the Rome VOR in Georgia. Like so often, ATC is helpful and grants the route change.
Bonanza 70 Tango Bravo, requesting a slight change of course to the left via the Rome VOR and then destination if possible to avoid the build-ups and storms ahead.
I'm sorry, what's your call, sir?
That was Bonanza 70 Tango Bravo, sir.
Alright, which way do you need to go?
Towards Rome VOR and then destination if possible.
70 Tango Bravo, approved requested.
Bonanza 70 Tango Bravo, thank you very much.
AC 4266, contact Memphis Center on 134.65, 3465.
3465, AC 4266.
Okay, it's still above freezing. Got light variations in airspeed.
They'll try to maintain 3,000.
Light bumps, continuous bumps.
Number 0 Tango Bravo, contact Birmingham approach 132.15.
132.15, Bonanza 70 Tango Bravo. Thank you, have a good day.
Yeah.
Alright, so much for good plan. Now showing heavy rain here at 8 Alpha 0. Let's see how much of that is still there.
At this point, I believe the deviation is no longer needed, so I ask ATC for direct to destination. Yes, there's rain, light to moderate, but nothing more than light turbulence. That's good. Tuskegee is a field with a small FBO run by very helpful and friendly people. We get fueled quickly, and a small barbecue is set up outside the FBO building to grill burgers and hot dogs. The staff kindly invites us to help ourselves to some food for lunch. Outstanding! In the flight planning room, I can see on the rapid refresh model that the precip from over the Gulf is going to cross the state of Florida from west to east, so I make a note to watch that band of precipitation closely. After a short break, we are on our way again. The weather is good at first. While there's no more tailwind on this second leg, we still get a smooth ride and enjoy the good visibility and a nice view above the clouds.
Tampa approach, good evening, Bonanza 70 Tango Bravo 9000.
November 70 Bravo, Tampa approach, Tampa altimeter 3000.
3000. Alright, we are less than an hour from Fort Myers, and what we have is a large area of precip of light to medium intensity with a few darker red dots in there. That's what was in the forecast this morning, but also I don't necessarily believe this is convective. It might just be rain. So one way to find out is if we pick something in the middle, say here Punta Gorda. One way to tell between convective activity and just rain is to look at the METARs of airports in that area. You know, this is a very large area, so many airports in there, and we have here Punta Gorda, light rain, Page Field, light rain, Venice has rain, Fort Myers International, light rain, Sarasota, light rain. So there's a lot of light rain, or here even light drizzle. Nothing suggesting thunderstorms or lightning. So I believe this is going to be quite alright flying through.
November 70 Tango Bravo, just heads up, about 20 miles south of Lakeland, you'll begin to encounter light to moderate precipitation. It extends all the way for the rest of the state, south and east and west, so there's really no way around it. But I don't believe it's too intense. I do see some VFR targets still flying through it.
Bonanza 70 Tango Bravo, Roger. Thank you for the heads up. Yeah, we're seeing that on ADSB. It looks like on the ground nothing more than light rain in those areas.
Roger.
Nobody is reporting thunderstorms or lightning. And ATC has a report from another airplane that's flying north from the Fort Myers area towards us.
Tampa, Angel Flight 3288 8000.
Angel Flight 3288, Tampa approach, Tampa altimeter is 3002. I got a couple heading the way that you just came from. How's the ride been?
Nothing more than light turbulence. A little bit stiff on the light side, but it was nothing but light.
Roger, 0 Tango Bravo, I got an aircraft about 30 south of you, came from the Fort Myers area. He's at 8,000, he said nothing worse than light turbulence.
Bonanza 70 Tango Bravo, yes, I just heard that. That's good news, thank you.
Roger, 2 X-ray Juliet, did you hear that?
Yes, I did, sir. We're at 5,000 and smooth, no turbulence.
Just want to let you know, guy's coming from Fort Myers area. He's at 8, he said light turbulence, so I just want to let you know that.
Okay, thank you.
We enter the rain, and it's really not bad at all. Smooth air, occasional light chop.
Fort Myers approach, good evening, Bonanza 70 Tango Bravo, leaving 5,400, descending 5,000, with information Delta for page.
Denver 70 Tango Bravo, Fort Myers approach, good evening, Fort Myers altimeter 3002, depart Quincy, heading 220, vector final approach course.
3002 for the altimeter and depart Quincy heading 220, Bonanza 70 Tango Bravo.
Number 70 Tango Bravo, contact approach 125.15, good day.
125.15, Bonanza 70 Tango Bravo. Have a good evening.
About a 16.5 for 11 with Papa.
Yeah, it's 2386, Fort Myers approach, roger.
Fort Myers approach, good evening, Bonanza 70 Tango Bravo, 5000 information delta.
Number 70 Tango Bravo, Fort Myers approach, roger.
When I report page field in sight, the controller is worried I might lose sight of it later, so instead of a visual approach he recommends the ILS to runway 5, and I agree.
Bonanza 0 Tango Bravo has page field in sight.
November 0 Tango Bravo, roger. They're reporting 4 miles is. If you want the visual, I can give it to you here shortly.
Yeah, I can see it from here if you can do that.
Yeah, will you be able to maintain visual joining final? I'm showing precipitation about 2 mile final.
Bonanza 0 Tango Bravo, hard to tell from here, I think so, but what's plan B? Is it to do the ILS?
Yeah, it'll be the ILS.
Okay, yeah, we can do the ILS, probably safer.
0 Tango Bravo sounds good. I'd hate for you to go in there and then have to climb back up for the ILS. Let's send to maintain 2000.
Descend to maintain 2000, Bonanza 0 Tango Bravo.
Wings 967, reduce speed to 210.
Already slow, Spirit 96.
0 Wings 967, reduce speed to 170, turn right heading 290 back to base.
170 on the speed, 290 on the heading, Spirit Wings 967.
As I get vectored to the ILS final approach course, I can see Sanibel and Pine Island. On a nicer day, this would be very scenic. Right now, it's rainy in the Sunshine State, and it's getting dark.
Number 0 Tango Bravo, turn left heading 130.
130, Bonanza 0 Tango Bravo.
United 1808, contact tower, good day.
We'll switch, 1808, good day.
Number 0 Tango Bravo, 4 miles from Kaloo, turn left heading 080, maintain 2000 until established on the localizer, clear ILS runway 5 approach.
Left heading 080, maintain 2000 until established, cleared ILS runway 5 approach, Bonanza 0 Tango Bravo.
Number 0 Tango Bravo, contact page tower, we'll see you.
Contact tower, thanks for the help, have a good night, Bonanza 0 Tango Bravo. Page tower, good evening, Bonanza 70 Tango Bravo, ILS runway 5 approach.
70 Tango Bravo, page tower. Good evening. Runway 5, clear to land.
Runway 5, clear to land, Bonanza 70 Tango Bravo, and we'll be going to base ops.
Roger.
Landing checklist. Gear down and locked. Landing light on. Mixture enriched, gums on short final. Runway inside. Gas. Undercarriage. Mixture. Prop. Three greens.
Here's my landing in Fort Myers, courtesy of Carlos, a local fan of my YouTube channel who was kind enough to come out to the airport to capture the landing. Thank you, Carlos.
Bonanza 0 Tango Bravo, you said base ops, correct?
Affirmative, 0 Tango Bravo.
Roger, left turn at Fable and Echo, or now you can take a left on runway 1331 and then stay with me parking via Charlie 3 at the base ops.
Okay, left here at Echo and then Charlie 3 to base ops. Bonanza 0 Tango Bravo. Thanks for help. Have a good night.
Thanks, you too.
So how did things go compared with the weather forecast we had looked at in part 2 of this series? I would say mostly as expected. The information we reviewed in the morning was accurate regarding the rain encountered on both legs. The forecast was also accurate in the absence of any other adverse flying conditions besides these two areas of precip. One other question: would we have really been stuck in Cedar Rapids had we waited another day and departed on Sunday instead of Saturday? That's a bit harder to say. Cedar Rapids did not get the snow I saw in the forecast for Sunday morning, but then the prog chart shows a lot more rainy and stormy weather in our path on Sunday compared with Saturday. Plus we enjoyed an extra day of vacation in Florida, so I think we still made a good call by departing a day early. We had a great time in Fort Myers, even though most days were cool by Florida standards with temperatures only in the 60s. Elizabeth and I went on a few little day trips, including an airboat ride out of Everglades City, kayaking around manatees, and we met fellow YouTuber Baron Pilot for breakfast one morning. He lives in Southwest Florida, and if you haven't yet, I suggest you check out his channel too. Later, this trip will take us to Savannah and Hilton Head, then back to Florida, but this time on the East Coast, before I return home to Iowa 2 weeks after this flight today. Thanks for watching and for coming along on the trip, and if you liked this video, please do subscribe to my channel so you can see my future flights here on YouTube. See you next time.